Hey guys, Tony again with Aqua. Today I'm going to show you how to shut your pool equipment down and clean your big filter canisters. Alright, first thing we're going to do. If you do not have a Hayward OmniLogic system, you'll come to the back of your pump and hit the stop button. That'll shut your pump down. If you do have a Hayward Omni system, what we're going to do is come over to your screen here. We're going to hit the pool button in the top left corner. We're going to hit filter pump. It's on. We're going to turn it off. The pump's going to shut down, and before we do anything, whether you've got an Omni system or you don't, first thing you want to do is bleed this valve up here. That's going to release any pressure. If we start opening valves and lids, we're going to get sprayed with water. So as that's bleeding, we're going to take the cover pump off. Anytime we're over here, you might as well take this off and clean out this little basket here. It's important when you're putting it back in place that this hole lines up with your plumbing. And we put the lid back on. Now we're going to take apart the filter canister. And I want you to see that this bolt is not completely tightened down. Reason being is when your pressure builds up, it needs room to expand, so we don't want this thing to pop. All you're going to need is a 3/4 inch socket and ratchet. We're going to loosen this. Take the bolt out. We're going to take the collar, set it off to the side. We're going to take the top off, and here we're going to see our 4 filters. We have a top manifold here with the screen on. This is an air relief screen. We'll want to clean this off. This gets full of debris, muck, oil, hair, lint. And we're going to take this top manifold out. This manifold sits in place to hold the filters and standpipe sandwiched into a bottom manifold, which looks just like this but on the bottom. Fits together, it's all sandwiched. So we're going to take these out 2 at a time. And in the meantime, we're also going to drain this canister out because there's a lot of debris, sand if you have pavers around the pool, and sediment that just gets stuck here. So what you'll need is a flathead screwdriver. And down at the bottom here, we see this little plug. We're going to give that a turn. Run! So we've got our filter out, and as long as these bands here are intact, it means our filter's in pretty good condition. We're going to clean this off. You're never going to get it stark white again, but we sell a chemical called Clean It at Aqua Pools. It's a decalcifier or degreaser. We're just going to spray it into the pleats here, let it bake in there for a few minutes, and it's just going to help degrease everything. All the oils from the suntan lotion and shampoos and detergents and stuff on our swimsuits, that gets baked into the filter, so we're going to give that a minute to cook. All right, the Clean It sat for a few minutes, so now we're just going to spray all the debris and everything at a downward angle. Again, we're not going to see it be stark white again, but you can see all of the funk and oil and debris that's coming out of here. You should do this once every 3 or 4 weeks, depending on your filter pressure and bather load. It's also a good idea to have 2 sets of filters. This way you don't have to do this every 3 or 4 weeks. You can just change your filters and clean them at your leisure. Hey guys, we've got our filters cleaned. Now I'm going to show you how to clean out the tank in here. This is the manifold that's on the bottom. We're going to want to take this off, hose it down really well. Helps if I have the pressure on the hose. We're also going to spray out the bottom of the tank in here. Just get rid of all the sand and muck and debris and everything. Now when we put this manifold back on, it's very important that these sit on the ring of the tank in here. So I'll bring you in here if you don't mind. Again, these are going to sit right on the edge of this little ring right here on the inside of the filter. Another very important part is this O-ring here. We want to make sure it's intact and it's free of debris. Now we're going to stack our filters in place. Four. Thank you to my assistant off screen. Now we're going to put our manifold back on. Again, making sure that this is free of debris. Now this can only go on one way. This part here meets up with the standpipe here. So we're going to tap this in place. Now before we put the lid back on, we have to remember to clean this O-ring. Now you want to be very careful with this one because there is metal inside of here. So you want to use a rag or your shirt, or be careful with your hand. We're cleaning this off. We also want to clean off the tank here because any soot or debris or anything can get stuck in here. Now, this O-ring does not have it up or down. It can sit right on top of here. And last and most importantly is not to forget your drain plug. That's going to go threaded in down there. All right, we've got our O-ring back on the bottom. We are going to set our canister up here. We're going to take our clamp, making sure that the label is face up. Put it around here, give it a pop. We're going to put our bolt through, our nut back on, like a lug nut for a car. The rounded end goes on here. And again, we want to tighten this, but not so much. I generally leave the thickness of a pinky. All right, we've got our system back on. We can see here that there's just a little bit of air in there. So what we're going to do to release that is open this air relief valve here, spray a little bit of water, and open the probes.